Hi, party people. Welcome to the Pretty Picture Party, part two. I have some exciting news. The Ellis decK 6th edition, came on Sunday. I opened up the front door and the boxes were just sitting there. I was expecting them to come today. I was going to make a video about them yesterday, but we had people in the apartment fixing our ceiling, which is a fun story about water damage and water and the things that water does when it goes where it's not supposed to go. But what I thought I would do today is use the Ellis decK 6th edition to do a reading about the Ellis decK. It's been around for about 10 years now. Actually longer than 10 years. It's been around 12 years. All right, so a little bitty baby unboxing here. This edition is in a nice pretty blue box that matches the Empress's hair. I just like the wild creative Empress energy, and I thought that that would be a fun cover for the box this time. This box is a little thicker than in the past because this one includes, boom, a little companion book. It's a little baby version of the companion book that we've put out, available in paperback and ebook form. Check this out though. It's got your commentary in it, it's got divinatory keywords, and it's got shadow aspects for those of you that like to read reversals. All right, so the Ellis decK is going to be turning 13 next year, starting junior high, getting acne, having a terrible time. We're just going to give it about 3 shuffles and do a little cut and see what it has to say for itself. Sorry, this cut is not perfectly in center frame of the camera. All right. I'm gonna see if I can do a better job of laying this out in frame this time. For those of you that like to see what was on the cut of the shuffle, we've got the King of Wands and the 8 of Cups. So a lot of times, self-publishing, you feel like the King of Wands, King of Rods. You know, you have all these ideas, you maybe don't have everybody or everything that you need to get it done. What we've got going on with that is the 8 of Cups, which is like saying, well, you know, I've got big feels that way, but okay, who cares? You know, let's do it anyway. All right, significator in the middle is the Chariot, which is fun because that's the first card I drew, literally like illustrated for the deck. Okay, so here we are again with the glass bead game spread. I'll go ahead and tell you which each spot is. So these are like the personal, the significator. This is influence, metaphysical or unmanifested, karma or action, material, meditation or devotion, power or understanding, transformation or apex, and inspiration. All right, let's dissect the significator here first. Okay, so in this spread, we do a significator and a cover, which is like it flavors the significator a little bit more. You sort of meld the meanings of both cards. So we've got the Chariot and the 9 of Cups. So I was really happy to see the Chariot show up as a significator. For me, this was the first significator I ever had. And this guy is almost like saying it's about time. This is the card of timing to me. There's also there's balance, and then there's applied balance, and to me the Chariot is applied balance. It's like using all those lessons on push and pull, but actually doing something with them, more than just being the wise commentator. It's taking that message on the road. The sword is in the hands. He feels what it is like to use the sword, to have the sword used on you. So that creates a sense of mercy. These two lions, they are calm. They're just sitting there. They are basically juxtapositions of each other. One has red eyes, one has blue eyes, one is white with a black mane, one is black with a white mane. They are meant to represent oppositions that know that they have what it takes to work together. That little map of the solar system behind the charioteer's head is divine timing, is it the understanding of doing things when it's a good time to do them. And we have the Eight of Cups with this guy.
This is the Hypno-Eye here to tell you that I said 9 of Cups and not 8 of Cups. Everything in this video is perfect.
And look how happy that dude is. So I've had a lot of people emailing me that were like, when is this deck coming back into print? And for a while I didn't know. Because of stuff, worldly stuff, it was really hard to order decks from China at this point, which is where I was getting my decks printed. If anybody that's an indie deck creator knows that that's probably the easiest turnkey way to get decks printed. And this time around, I thought I would do something different. I found a printer in Florida to go with, and they did a really great job on these. The color's beautiful. The cards are beautiful. So he's got little seahorses coming out of the cups. He could not be happier. This is like, rejoice, here it is, we're back. So significator is, we're so back. The challenge is that we've entered the world of apathy. Apathy has entered the chat. I don't know how much time everybody has ever spent trying to get attention on the internet here in the attention economy, but it's not easy. You could have something headed straight towards your head, but you don't notice because of all these other things. It's kind of the Four of Cups to me is a lot like the Three of Wands. It's the emotional version of it, I think, where it's like you're sitting between action and non-action and waiting to get inspired. And I think this is almost like you're gonna have to make your inspiration. It might not be coming externally at this point. And then that guy, my victory card, the Six of Rods, is the advice from the higher self. And it's like, set a good example, do good by everybody. And when you win, they will celebrate your winning. And then starting into the bead game itself, in our starting place, the influence realm, is the Hierophant. Here's the Hierophant, who I struggle with because I don't love by the book. But here he is. He's like, chill. He is saying, listen, do what's been done. Do what works. He's got the silver and the gold key above his head. He's got, access to kind of the higher and the lower vibrations. He's between two gray pillars. So, he doesn't even have, heavy opposing forces that he's working with. He's not, he's in a real mellow realm himself. So to me, it's almost like that's an easy for you to say type thing, which is usually when someone gives me practical advice where I come back with. He looks like he's levitating. He's actually sitting on his books. So there's a lot of knowledge that can be worked with, and I think that that's something for me to do, is that I've got to research how to get the Ellis deck out there even more than it has gotten out there before. All right, next spot in the bead game realm is the unmanifested, where we have the moon card. Here we go again with some opposites. We had the two sphinxes on the chariot. We had those two keys on the Hierophant. And now we've got a domestic dog and a wild wolf, and they're both howling at the moon. And the unmanifested for the Ellis deck is the occult energy, the capturing the imagination, and making magic happen. Next spot in the bead game is the karma realm, or the action realm, where we have the Ace of Swords. All right, there's that sword again. The charioteer was holding it by the blade, but here it is stuck in a stone. And it's our action to take this sword. It's our action to get this deck into the world. It's Excalibur, it's King Arthur's sword, it's the Master's sword, it's Link's sword. It's the archetype of the hero taking up that mantle of destiny. It's a wind card. The Karma Realm is a fire spot. So there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of this is volatile, and you can really make some stuff happen with this. I think that if we grab this sword, and take it out of the rock, it's time. The charioteer is telling us, be wise. Don't swing it at everything, but when you swing it, swing the hell out of it. And the next spot in the bead game is the material world, where we've got a super material card. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. All right, Ten of Pentacles showing up in the material realm. Can't be mad at that. That's saying that there's a lot of existing material success with this card. There is everything going on here. You've got people making music. You've got, an animal and its young. You've got kids playing in the trees. It's a happy village. Something that I've been really proud about with this deck is that I have managed to get copies of it on every continent that has people, which is super cool and something to be proud of. But there's, that's just one thing. There's part of me that's like, what's next? What are we doing here? And, you really establish stuff, and then there's that little child inside that goes, well, let's play with it more. Let's keep going. And I think that the material realm is telling me to play. In the meditation or devotion realm, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So, Seven of Pentacles telling us to wait. We don't harvest things before they're ripe. It's in the meditation realm or the devotion realm. So it's saying there's a ripening happening. There's more people ready for some of these ideas than there were when this first came about. But again, our charioteer plays into patience in the reading. The Hierophant sits opposite this card in the reading. So I think of the Hierophant as like definitely pointing at the lesson in this card, which is patience. And so, it's something where we're devoting this, we're getting, 150 decks printed. That's just the beginning. It's seeds in the ground. All right, the next card that we look at in the glass bead game is the Power Realm, where we have the Ten of Wands. We can call it the Ten of Rods too. That's a lot to do. That's a lot accomplished too. That's this, kind of older character has a gray-tailed fox with them. We just see the tail of the fox. They're walking in the same direction. He's got all these wands, rods on his back, and they're about to take them up a pretty steep hill. Up at the top of that hill is like a grassy spot. Looks like that might be a good spot to kind of set these up, sort of build the grove. And it's, you know, the power realm is saying like your power isn't having a lot to do. The power is in, you know, so much awaits. That's not a bad thing. That's way better than nothing happening. You know, having a deck that's almost 13 years old, there's still so much that can be done with it. And at the apex, or the transformation of this reading, is the Queen of Cups. Look at this psychic mermaid beauty. Here she is, scrying over her cup, keeping the water still, you know, managing that mood, understanding that, you know, clear vision comes from a clear mind, and a clear mind needs a clear heart. She's got this jewel over her third eye center. She's radiating energy outward. What's this mean for the Ellis deck? When I made this deck, I really wanted it to be something that kind of awakened like spirituality in people and awakened like color in people, sort of break us out of this sad beige world that we've constructed. And, you know, put on the side of like, you know, emotional well-being, that, you know, we don't become robots in this world, but also at the same time, we don't, you know, charge forward with our rage. You know, we put that good energy out there. And I hope that, you know, by means of positive imagery, that this deck does put that good energy out there. The last card of the glass bead game reading is the inspiration card, where we have the Magician. So when we talk about this magician, we're talking about a good magician. We're talking about the one that teaches. We're talking about the one that uses all the tools of the tarot. If you can see, he's got a cup, he's got a pentacle, he's got a wand, and he's got a sword. And, you know, we have the sword in the action part of our reading. And, you know, that means in terms of the magician, this cat, he likes to take things that were just sort of ideas, maybe kind of lofty, and bring them down, get pencil and paper. You know, he's got his workshop in the back that we don't see, and he sort of drafts out the plans. He sort of makes the things happen. So there's not always transparency in this guy's work, but when it's done, you're like, wow, how did he do that? And, you know, with the sword, that means, you know, making some of the decisions, the airy decisions, you know, the graph paper stuff that I personally can't stand, but I know I got to do. And going forward, hoorah, create. Okay, to summarize, this was a pretty happy reading for me. I was really pleased with the cards that came out. The Chariot there at the beginning is, you know, it's moving forward. It's taking the message into the world. And the 6 there, that 6 of rods, is like winning. You know, there's a good feel to it, and the happiness, it does break through the apathy, which is a big challenge right now. We're not in a world where most people feel good all the time. And the influence that Hierophant is telling us, you know, there's ways that work, and you know, try those out. Unmanifested is the moon. You know, we're still making magic happen. A sword in the karma. Man, you got to do it. Are you doing it or not? And the material world, having that 10 of Pentacles is, that's like a blessing. That's like saying, man, find your community, embrace your community. Having these 7 of Pentacles in the meditation is like deepening that patience. Patience pays off. 10 of Wands, 10 of Rods in the power realm is saying, you know, you can feel like you're burdened, or you can feel like, you know, you are really blessed to have all this stuff, all this work that you've done. All you got to do is find out where to put it. Having the Queen of Cups in the transformation realm, I think that is the deck becoming something of a very intuitive influence for people. And also just this imagery being stuff that really inspires others. And having the magician there at the end is like saying, man, you know, you can make this happen. And, you know, when you put the work in, it's going to blow people's minds. It's going to make them think it's magic. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you. Like and subscribe. I hope to be making a lot more videos. We're going to do some card comparisons between the decks that I've made, why I made one way and one the other way. I might do some streams where I'm drawing. Please visit my website, illustrations.net. If you want to buy the Ellis deck, you can follow the links from that website, or you can go straight from illustrations.bigcartel.com. I'll try to make sure both links are down below. And other than that, keep on reading.